question?
Yeah, we did.
What's the offer? Do you mind I ask that?
It was roughly $4 billion. Right?
4 billion?
One.
1 billion?
Right.
You're gonna offer a 1 billion US dollar when you are 23 years old.
Correct.
And to buy you.
Correct.
Of course you take it, right?
That's not how it goes.
Really?
Why would you take $1 billion?
That has a lot to do with why you're not going to university.
Correct. If I would have went to GYFT, I would have sold it.
Of course.
We were in the midst of going public. This is one of the best times to sell a company when you are in the public markets. We're about to approach public markets.
Well, so you decide to sell. Oh, yeah, I understand. You sell with, let's say, 5 billion rather than through the private deal.
Correct. I had someone very important, even more important than Michael Bell, a person that backed a lot of companies like Nortel Networks and really big players hug me and say, trust me, why would you sell now?
So from now on, when people hug you and look at your eyes, you say, trust me, then you don't trust them.
Well, except if it's my son, then I do, yeah. But most times I don't, yes.
Yeah. So they hugged you and they said, trust me, and then you trust them.
Yeah,
so you didn't sell?
Nope.
And what happened?
Well, we did our paperwork to go public. Went on a road trip. If you know public markets, it's sort of like this, like a beauty show, right? Where you get to tell your story to retail investors. Are you ready? As luck would have it,
they're trying to raise the money, like Alibaba before the IPO. They went to roadshow and tell everybody their story, their future, everything, and people supposed to be ready to the pre-market deal. Yes,
and also helps you prop up your price and get demand and everything.
Exactly.
Everything gets fast, right? That's the idea.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Fantastic. We started on September 10th, 2001.
September 10th, 2001.
Correct.
That was when you started to do the roadshow.
Correct, day one of the roadshow.
What happened after that day?
Well, if you know history, you know what happened the next day, right? It was the end of capital markets as we know
The
it.
911.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I guess what? Don't cry, because at least you were not in that tall building.
100%.
You need to be positive, you know.
I am.
So what happened, you know? So after the 911, the whole market closed, right?
Yeah, actually, I mean, in retrospect, we know now that for roughly 4 years, there was actually no access to public markets for small companies. But what really happened is a major readjustment of the capital. Folks were sort of
They basically stopped.
Yeah, folks were looking for safety. We didn't know what the world was going to look like.
No IPO, and nobody wanted to put any money, and that's period.
It was literally the dead end.
So what do you have to do then? You have lots of people at that time, I guess.
Yeah, I had almost 2,000 people.
2,000 people. You gotta pay them salary.
Yeah,
They gotta leave even after 911.
$6.5 million every 2 weeks is roughly what we're burning. So every 2 weeks I had to put up, not me, but the investors, another $6.5 million. We had roughly
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we had only about 20 million in the bank because we're going to get 400 on Friday, right? So what would we need more money, right? And Friday came and we had to make some difficult decisions. So we let about 80% of our people go.
Let 80% of people go. Did you eventually let yourself go?
I moved myself to 1 penny salary.
1 penny salary. Okay. All right. You actually paid 1 penny. That's funny. All right. So that failed basically.
Yeah.
From a glorious peak to basically, you're actually quite in sync with 911.
Perfectly. There was complete destruction.
That's great. So, I'm sorry, that's not great. But, so after that, did you stop? You said, startup is not my thing, finish.
I went to work for the post office. Just kidding.
You want to work in the post office?
No, just kidding. No, actually, I remember vividly those days. Obviously, you feel sad.
Yeah.
You clearly feel sad mostly for people who died, and of course, were victims. You feel sad for your employees. But then, when you turn off the lights, you feel bad for yourself, right? It's no denying it, right? But I remember reading a quote from John Lennon saying, it would all be good in the end, right? If it's not, it's not the end, right?
It's not the end.
So I said, okay, well, it's not the end. It's the beginning. I just got a $300 million MBA, right? So wow. I know what to do.
That's
right?
very expensive MBA. We don't charge that much here.
So I heard, yeah.
So after that, what's important, that's his second company. After that, how many companies you started after that?
12 cents, so 14 in total.
So after that second company, you started another 12 companies. So total you have 14 companies.
Correct.
Now the rest of the 12 company works because there's no 911 afterwards. So I assume it should be all successful.
Mostly. The last 3 were particularly successful.
So that one failure is not your fault. So you're quite successful.
If you don't want to invest it, it's sort of gray area, meaning most investors don't care. But I would agree with you that it's not entirely.
So you prove the education doesn't work. You know, someone who doesn't go to university actually have 14 startups and all of them works. And how many you had to exit?
So the last 3 exited returned about $500 million to the shareholders.
So last 3 exits he have done of his 3 companies, he sold for $500 million. So if I would be you, I would just retire to Florida. I mean, just enjoy the beach and everything. Why you come back and try to convince everybody to put the money to your company? And then also, by the way, you don't need money.
Well, I decided it's time to do something for humanity. It's something that's you miss when you write software. So I decided to make better babies. Not literally, I've done that 3 times, so not available.
Is your baby better?
I still don't tell them that every day, but I decided that there is a way to improve babies.
Okay, so you want to make it better way. We're going to hear later on about that. So Sergio, amazing entrepreneur, has exited 3 times recently and created 14 company. The other company he has is a cash call, you know, bringing money to him every single day. But there's another aspect we're going to cover very quickly. You actually told me, you know, all the money you make, you actually donate. How much you donate to charity, right?
80%.
You donate 80% to the charity?
Right.
Is that the fashion of the rich people in the world? A new fashion?
I hope it does become fashion.
Well, I know your friend Mark Zuckerberg donated 99%.
His 1% is slightly larger than my 20, so...
Okay. All right, that doesn't matter. Okay. So what keeps you going on? Now you donate 80%, you only have 20% every time you sell something. So does that motivate you to continue to work harder?
It actually motivates me even more.
Okay, so your rationale is let's donate 80% so that I still work. Otherwise I have no incentive because I got to keep 80%. Now I lose 80%. So it's like there's a tax of 80%. So you're gonna work harder.
There's one way to look at it, or you can say, if I make a lot of money again, the 80% could go much further.
Okay, so, well, I guess I'm not rich enough to say that. Your mentality is quite different. You have a good heart, better heart than me. So, thank you very much for this wonderful conversation.